Hello, I'm Quinn Keon.
And I'm Rich Smith, and this is
Real Hunting.
Social media can be a good thing sometimes. In this case, I just learned some very sad news that the buck I was hoping to connect with this year died last night in a car deer accident. So, at least I know he's not around. At least I'm not passing up the things that I would normally shoot just in case I got a chance at this one. He's gone. He was very impressive. And I'm still not sure I'm going to show him to you. But if I did show him to you, I'd probably put photos in right about now. I guess we'll see what I decide on that later. It's raining, and it's going to rain all afternoon, so I'm going to sit a wind that's almost wrong just so that I can be inside of a blind, so I'm not sitting out in the water. I just don't want to get soaked. Especially since I'm not seeing great activity on this property this year. The strange thing is, it's like everything on this property is nocturnal, and I haven't hunted it. I've got cameras running. I've got 7 cameras on this property, and just about every photo I get is at night. And in the past, up until this year, it hasn't been that way. I've always had good daylight activity here, and then this year it's just not that way. And it's not because of me, because I'm not out here. So I don't know if the neighbors are hunting a lot more, if there's more pressure, or what the cause is, but it's kind of frustrating. So I'm going to go slip out here on the hill and get into a blind and just watch, see what happens. I usually figure my window of opportunity lies between November 1st and November 8th. And we're already at November 4th this morning. So I'm feeling a little nervous. We've got an east wind, rain coming. I'm going to sit a stand that's a little bit wrong for the wind. I'm going to hang an actual buck tarsal gland out in front of me to pique something's interest should it get downwind of me. And just kind of see how that goes. This property has traditionally had a decent buck cruise through it at some point during this window of time. It's all a matter of whether or not he comes close enough for a shot. Year after year, I've seen a decent buck, at least 2.5, sometimes 3.5, come through the property while I'm on stand. Sometimes they're close enough, sometimes they aren't. So, that's the game we're going to play this morning, and I'm going to sit out until it starts raining. It's supposed to maybe start raining around noon. I'd really like to get a midday sit in today with the full moon happening. I don't think I'm going to see much this morning, but I got a truck out here on the road stopped right by my property. But I don't think I'll see much this morning because of the full moon. Midday, I think, is probably when that opportunity is going to happen. But you never know, because when the hormones kick in, anything can happen, and that's the window that we're in now. this way, buddy. Oh man, don't come back, buddy. Just starting to sleet and rain. It's almost noon now. Amazing that buck came and hung out by this blind this morning for 10 minutes. And I was 100 yards away in another tree. I didn't sit here because it's on the east side of my property and we had an east wind. But he came in and he stayed to this edge. And he hung out here and he was huge. I had no problem seeing G3s from 100 yards away. Oh man. I tell you, there's an opportunity that happens once in this week, usually on this property, and that was probably it. But you never know. And sometimes, actually once I had a 10-point that showed up, and then that night he came back again. The problem is I have a wedding to go to today, so I can't hunt tonight. I've been trying to shoot older deer. Number one, they're very difficult to find. Number two, those opportunities are so very rare and infrequent that when they're almost there, it's a massive heartbreaker. I'm very excited about this morning. I'm also very hurt by this morning. But I know to be in this blind this time of year. I know this happens. I've witnessed it. I have trail cam photos of it. I know this is the place I need to be, and I didn't sit here because of the wind. That's on me. Well, this morning, I saw a couple deer. I saw an 8-point, not the same 8-point, a different one. And, he was borderline shooter. I'm not sure. I didn't get a great look at him. Had the width, but didn't really have tines that were that long. So I was going to go over and hunt a farm that I have permission to hunt. I haven't gotten a photo there of anything I would shoot this year. And I thought, well, I'll head over there anyway because I don't really have a great evening spot to hunt right now. And my other properties that I'm focusing on are morning spots. But then my gut told me, no, don't do it. Just come here. So I'm here. I'm going to sit. Probably won't see anything, but you never know. The thing is, see, if something walks by this blind and I wasn't here, I'm going to really kick myself like I did the other day. Because that buck was nice. I would have shot him. I had a 3.5-year-old 6-point come by yesterday while I was chasing that other 8. And he's at 2.5. He was really thick, really wide, but just little short tines. And this year he's got a little bit better tine length, maybe 4 or 5 inches. But he's a 6, but he's 3.5. I mean, not the ideal 3.5, but nonetheless, it's pretty hard to find a 3.5-year-old buck in this state. So he walked by a little after 8 in the morning yesterday. Probably could have had a good opportunity on him if I'd have been here, but I was chasing the 8, which, is understandable. I'm still going to chase the 8. I'll probably bounce every other day between properties, so that's my plan right now in the mornings. And evenings I'll probably sit here, even though I'm not seeing much, because just in case one comes through, I want to make sure that I'm where I think I need to be. Matt!
been trying to figure out how to hunt this piece of property. And I was so close this year. And I finally got a big buck here. He's down right over there on the edge of the thick stuff at the edge of the swamp. Oh my gosh. I always worry with it being a small piece that they're going to make it off the property. The guy that lives this way is totally cool with me tracking it. And I've helped him track deer through here before too, but I got a road right there, which you can probably hear that truck going by right now. Oh my God, you got a big buck! I almost hunted somewhere else tonight. Hell yes. That's a hard shot every day. Yeah, I don't know where the blood's at, but oh, there it is. There's some blood. Not much though, but I know he's down here. Here. Here, there, here, little bits, heart shot. Oh, there he is. He's laying right up there. There he is. Let's go see what he's got. Let's go see what he is. Come on, baby. That's a nice buck. Really nice. Oh. I shot a 2.5-year-old. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boy, he's really rounded off. Look at that. Hole in the antler. Very nice.
Alright, so what's cool right now is that I'm taking a ride with my friend Ray to get a buck out of the woods in the evening, and it's still light outside. How often do you get to do that?
Not very.
So I typically don't even like evening hunts. I was going to hunt a different property tonight.
Can I interject for just a minute? There's 3 deer standing right here under this apple tree I thought you might like to see.
Yeah. Alright, so back on task here. Ray and I are heading over to the property. Gonna pull this guy out. He's actually only about 30 yards from the road, and
gotta love them easy drags.
it will not be easy.
Of course not. But at least it'll be short.
We have to go through the swamp and then up the bank. So yeah, it won't be easy, but nonetheless, you know, it's one of those things. Boom! I heard a noise in the fence row. I had a rabbit under the feeder. The rabbit took off, and I thought, huh, that's interesting, because the rabbits haven't cared about most of the noises around there. Heard a couple steps. I said, okay, here we go. Hit the camera, grab the crossbow. This is my first crossbow deer. We'll talk.
You shot him with a crossbow?
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later.
Awesome.
And so yeah, anyway, Ray's helping me out, heading over to get a buck out of the woods on November 7th.
Awesome.
All right, another beautiful day here in Michigan. I've had access to this property for a number of years, but with hardly any large trees on it, it's been very complicated to hunt. I've got tree stands in the large trees, and I've for years tried to get deer to come by my stands. And you spend enough time on a property, you start to see patterns, and you start to say, hey, I saw one there, I saw one there, I saw one there. They all came by this spot. So last year I finally made the plunge, and one of those spots, Ray helped me build a platform. So we put this 12-foot platform up. I have not yet built a blind on it because I was not yet sure I was going to actually keep the platform there. My initial fear was this year that I had spooked deer away with the new structure. But I've had 3 bucks come by that in the last 4 days. 3 shooter bucks come by it in the last 4 days. So feeling very good about its placement, and happy to get this really nice 2.5-year-old. Been trying, as you know, to get a 3.5-year-old this year. I've seen some dandies in the last few days, but this is the best buck that's come by me this season. This is also the best buck that has ever come by me on this property. So this is a really big win for me. This guy's actually a little bit smaller than I thought he was. He came out, I saw the side profile and said, oh yeah, baby. And this particular property, I've been trying to get a deer here for a long time. In fact, it's 2017 right now. It was 2011 when I shot a 7-point, and it was 2009 when I shot a 6-point. So been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has.
Been a long time coming. I'm really happy with the shot. Happy I got to see where he went down. My blood trail actually wasn't that good at all, even though it's a great hit, and obviously he dropped. But I log all that stuff in a spreadsheet. He'll get a 2 for this blood trail with a maximum of 5. And yeah, happy to be able to enjoy archery season in Michigan. Gosh, I love it. It's November 7th. I love the first week in November. First 2 weeks actually, but the first week in November is when there's some crazy stuff that happens. I get some really cool things on my cameras. Can't wait to see what I got other places this year on camera.
It's a magical time of year, that's for sure.
I appreciate you coming and helping me out.
Oh, I love doing this. This is for me, this is almost as good as pulling the trigger.
Yeah. All right, November 15th in the AM. Driving home from Ohio. We're still in Ohio right now. 8:49 a.m. Gavin sent us a text about an hour ago. Said that he shot one. So good job, Gavin. Doing it himself this year. 30-06. Sitting near home. And he's the only one so far that I've heard from that's had any luck. So hopefully we'll be home by noon, and we can see what's going on with that deer. But you know, I feel bad missing out, you know, not experiencing that with him. But at the same time, you know, kid's got the football thing going on, and good win for Central Michigan last night. So yeah, that's what's going on. Hopefully we can get out this evening and do a little bit more hunting. It's November 17th in the afternoon. I've had a couple of nice evenings sitting near home with my wife Brandy. We saw 9 deer last night, which is outstanding. And I'm currently sitting many hours away from home in one of my favorite spots, northern Michigan's Upper Peninsula. And last year I got really, really lucky here this weekend. Last year on the 19th, I shot an absolute monster UP buck. I got a dog in front of me right now. Jeez, oh Pete, how's that for timing?
Was it on the apples, or did you get it out front? It's down. Okay, we'll chamber another round. Just in case you hit it high and it gets back up, stay on him, okay? Good job. All right. Well, since it's okay. 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 I want you to go find him. Okay. Because it's dark, I want you to go find him. Yes. Text me when you do, okay? Be safe. I know your adrenaline's up, okay? I know your adrenaline's up, so be safe. Okay. Bye. I never, ever, ever thought I'd be in a position where I would pass up an 8 or a 9 point in the UP. But I had been sitting here maybe 10 minutes when that all happened. And he just looked up here with the size he was probably a 3.5-year-old. But he had great potential. And I know there's a couple other bucks around that are bigger than he is. So I asked myself, do I want to be done? Do I want to tag out on this one? And I decided not to shoot. I got a good look at him. I should have him on trail camera. If I have any pictures, I'll put them up here so you can see them. But it's just one of those things. It didn't make me jump. It didn't make me say, yeah, I want to shoot that buck. So I didn't. But Gavin just shot one. And I think that's just awesome because he said it dropped when he hit it. So we got a fading light. It's out in some really tall, thick stuff. So I want him to look around out there right now before dark. So, yeah. Heck yeah. Gorgeous. Well, I never would have thought I would have been in a position where I was passing up a shot in the UP at an 8 or a 9 point tonight. But that's what happened. And let him walk, and I think he went up by Dad. You saw a buck come by you.
Yeah, it was pretty good size, but he was out about 125 yards and walking fast. By the time I got him in my sights, he was just starting to enter behind a tree, and I just didn't want to risk it.
So about an hour went by, and all of a sudden, boom, up in the woods. And I knew it was Gavin, so I was fingers crossed, hoping that, he got a good hit on something. And my goodness, what a great UP buck. How lucky are we to get to do this? So Gavin, what happened?
So I was just sitting in my blind, and all of a sudden I heard some chasing going on left of me, and saw this guy chasing a doe, and he was behind a tree, and I could just see his antlers and could tell that there was 4 points on the one side. And then he continued to chase the doe around and went right into my lane, and I was able to connect with him.
Nice. Great job. It's a long shot through some
through some sticks, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised at all the brush we walked through to get back here.
But you know what? Sometimes the opportunity presents itself and you either shoot or you don't. So that was your choice and it worked out.
Yeah.
So you're tagged out now.
Yes, I am.
Gavin has hunted 2 times this year. And he's tagged out. So that's the way it goes sometimes. There's a lot of luck involved. And really cool that he had this opportunity to shoot such a nice buck up here in the UP area that's so special to us.
All right, November 18th in the morning. Gavin's tagged out, so he's hanging out with me. He's gonna roll some video so I can just hunt. Who knows what'll happen? North wind, 5 miles an hour. Bum some deer getting out here, unfortunately. But I'm glad that there's some around for sure, because many, many years have gone by with us not having many deer around in the UP. So it's pretty exciting this year that we all saw deer yesterday on our first at 9 o'clock. I usually check in with Dad, and then it's cookie time. Thank you, Brandy, for the chocolate chip cookies. We appreciate you very much.
Okay, today is the 4th day of firearm season. Of course, the first 3 days I had to work, so my first time out during firearm. And it is really quiet out here. I heard a guy across the road shoot 3 times. He's on an open cut cornfield, so he always just shoots at deer that run by there. I haven't seen a thing this morning. We got an awful lot of rain last night, and there's a lot of water out here. But I haven't heard any deer, haven't seen any deer yet. Been sitting out here for a couple hours and kind of bummed. But who knows? I've been trying to keep the 80 acres that I'm hunting on scent free, so I haven't gone around looking for scrapes. I haven't gone around looking for rubs. I just been going straight to my tree stand and then straight back out. So hopefully that provides some seclusion and security for some of the deer on the property where nobody's been walking. So who knows, maybe late season will be a little better for us, or who knows. It's just hard to guess when you're out hunting, but kind of bummed, haven't seen anything today. It's supposed to get pretty windy by midday and rain the rest of the day, so I brought the ground blind just in case we're interested in trying to set that up here somewhere and continue the hunt. I have today and tomorrow off to try to get something done, and then of course next weekend will be the last full weekend for firearms. So yeah, we'll just keep trying. Well, it snowed overnight, which is pretty stinking cool, sitting out here with the snow and highlighting the background of all the stuff that's moving around out here. I did see one spike sneak by me on the left side this morning early, and I heard a couple behind me, which I can't see obviously behind me. With the wind today, 13 to 18 mile an hour with gusts of 20 to 25, I decided to sit in the ground blind, and makes it much more tolerable. But it looks like everybody's hunkered down. Been sitting here a couple hours and only saw that one spike, so we'll wait a little bit longer and see what comes through. Boy, looked like the shot was a little far back through some brush, but I had to take it. Only good opportunity I've had this year. Whew. I thought I saw him crash over there. Alright, before I get down, I want to make sure I see where the shot was, and then where I figure he crashed through that brush over there, so. Alright. Oh, there's some blood. Ah, look at that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh, look at that good blood pattern right there. Oh, I was a little worried because I didn't find my shot back there, but I started walking this way and it's spraying. Yes, it's spraying. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Holy cow. All right. Woo. Yes. Wow, look at that, you guys. My goodness. That must have been a long shot, huh? Don't you think? With that spray like that? Wow, yes. This is a good sign. I've been waiting all season. Woo. Man, it curved right around here. Little rub right there. Looks like he's dead. My goodness. Oh yeah. Decent buck. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, a little far back on the shot, but I gotcha. Oh goodness. Finally got a deer this season. Oh my goodness. Let's see where I hit him. Yeah, that was the entrance this side. So I came out. Okay. Looks like, oh yeah, came out low. Okay. Woo, we got lucky on that. I rushed that shot. Oh my goodness. Let's see how many he's got here. Holy cow. Oh, we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 pointer, huh? All right. All right, let's get our tag on this bad boy. Holy cow. Woo! I got a 7-point buck. Oh my goodness, you guys. Let me tell you. Look at that, baby. Holy cow. Oh, yes. I'm so excited. Woohoo! Oh my goodness, you guys. Listen, I've been out here for a month and a half every weekend through the entire month of October for archery season. Saw those nice deer, a couple of beautiful 8 points out in the distance, and just couldn't get them into where I was archery hunting. And then last weekend I was able to get out for a couple of days for Firearm, and then came out again today, and it was cloudy, overcast, about 40 degrees this morning, and I'm just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. Here we are, 10:30, quarter to 11, and this guy finally comes through after a couple of does. I did see 12 deer this morning, which was great. 8:30 this morning I had 5 does come through. 9:30 I had a button buck and a spike, and then 10:15 a couple of more does come through, and then these guys come from the east headed to the west, and he was hanging out with a 4-point. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is so exciting. Last year I only got a doe, which was great though, to fill up the freezer, and didn't get a buck, but this year got me a nice 7-point buck. I'm so stinking excited. Yes, all right, now the hard work comes. Gonna field dress this guy, and then getting back to the house.
Nice buck, Dad.
Little excitement there for a few seconds. Holy cow.
He's got that double brow like that one did a few years back that you got. All right, another beautiful morning here in Michigan. Dad just successfully got the 6, almost 7-point buck. What we did this morning is a good old-fashioned deer drive. We've been doing this for a few years now. The last 2 years, it's netted us some shots, which is really cool. But this particular buck, Caden saw it running, was going to try to cross the river. Caden took off running and cut it off and pushed it back to this side of the property. Dad got a shot, knocked it down. High shoulder shot, probably not quite into the vitals. So as you saw, Glock 20 to finish it off. It's a beautiful animal. We're thankful to have this opportunity, but you know, it's just one of those things. This is a method that people don't seem to do very much anymore, and it's a group effort getting this deer. Dad put a good shot on it, as you know, it was moving and trying to get out, but Gavin's already tagged out this year. So Gavin, Ray, and I went into the far end, and we communicated and said, okay, we're ready, and we just slowly moved through the cover. And sure enough, we had some deer moving. We actually had some move out the other side of the property before we were even set up today. So, but it's just a great opportunity to do this. I really don't know how to film it. 2 years in a row now we've been successful, and I've thought, man, I should just try to film it off my head or something, but I lost my hat 5 times on my walk today, so if I have a cable hanging off or something like that, it's going to be even worse. So yeah, it's really cool. Great job, Dad. Glad you got a buck.
Yeah, on my own property even. Yeah.
Yep, November 26th today, so it's kind of late in the season, Thanksgiving weekend. This was Caden's only day to hunt this entire season because he's in college football and he has 0 time and 0 breaks and never gets to come home. He's got 2 days off. We bought him a license. We thought maybe he'd get a chance again this year, but of course he got one doing this last year, which was a great opportunity for him. So
yeah, and I was in your spot from last year.
Yep.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
so yeah, I've got a few days left to hunt this season before my work schedule gets too crazy, so we'll see what else happens, but right now we're just gonna get this guy taken care of, get him field dressed, and enjoy the rest of the day.
All right, well, it's mid-December here, and I'm getting a little bit of work done this morning on this property. A few deer tracks here in the snow. I mean, the snow came all at once this year. It was 60 degrees the first weekend in December, and the second weekend of December it was white. So we got 8 inches of snow the other night, and we've had a little bit more falling here ever since. It's just a beautiful thing. I love snow because you can see the deer tracks. And I have very, very few deer tracks here, so that's good to know. It's never been a good late season spot, so probably never will be. Yeah, so doing some work, enjoying my morning out here. just overall, it was a really good season. You know, I got that 9-point with a crossbow. It's the first time I've ever shot one with a crossbow. And I was thinking about all the different tools that I've taken deer with on video so far. You know, I've got, of course, my bow, the crossbow, muzzle loader, bolt action rifle, revolver. Finished one off this year with a semi-auto with a Glock 20 10mm. I don't know. There's just a lot. I like tools. You know, I collect tools, I guess you could say, and so it's neat to be able to use those tools in my my deer hunting adventures. So I'm gonna think about small game here for a little bit. I've got some rabbits on this property. Their population got knocked down a little bit because I'm getting a lot of fox photos and some coyote photos. But that's the way it always goes. The rabbits build up, predators move in, the rabbits get knocked back down. But I'm hoping I can get out here and maybe next weekend and chase some rabbits around in the snow. So it was a good season overall. You know, I got that 9-point. Gavin got $2. Caden didn't get anything this year. Gavin's 8-point in the UP was really an outstanding deer. Man, he was big, and just a really, really cool opportunity that he had a chance to shoot a buck like that up there. My dad got a 6-point when we did a deer drive, and my friends shot nice bucks. Rich got that 7-point. My friend Ray, he got a nice buck this year. Most of the people that I know, excluding one guy at work, sorry bud, had a really good season. Everybody saw fewer deer, but had some pretty good encounters with bucks. I had some great encounters with bucks this year. I had a chance to see a very large, mature animal and watch him forever and try and get him to come my way, and he just wouldn't. And man, I wish I could have connected on him. He was just outstanding. But maybe he'll make it through another year. I had photos of him last year, photos this year, a daylight sighting this year, one time. And based on all that, you know, maybe next year I can connect if he's still around. So that's the thing about deer hunting. You just never know. You never know what made it through. You never know what you're going to chase the next season. I mean, coming into this season, I thought that I was going to have 3 different 5-year-olds to go after. 2 of them never showed on camera. And the other one, it was so wet in the UP this year, I couldn't even get back into where he was at. So I don't even know. I didn't run cameras there this year. I sure hope he made it through, because he'll be 6 next year, and that would be ideal up there. I mean, 6 years old, you're talking, you know, 120-inch buck in the UP a lot of times, so that would be outstanding. Looking forward to that. I've got a bunch of new spots I scouted, found some sign, found some new places to put cameras. You know, I'm just bouncing my cameras all over the place, trying to find a spot that'll give me more opportunity to shoot an older buck. And this is what I'm doing right now. I'm certainly not saying that you need to do this. I don't care. If you shoot a legal deer with a legal method, congrats. I don't care how big it is. This is just something I'm doing for me, because I've discovered that I have the opportunity to do it. So, you know, it's kind of like one of those things. It's like you don't ever know that you can shoot a big buck until you shoot a big buck. And then once you do, you start looking and saying, man, maybe I can do it again. So that's kind of where I'm at with things. I'm playing around with method hunting. I'm playing around with trophy hunting, I guess. But at the end of the season, if the freezer needs some meat, then we're going to put some meat in it regardless. We had a good year this year. So I got a buck. Gavin got 2. My wife Brandy got 1. Should have mentioned her before. And, you know, it's just outstanding that we were able to put 4 of them and have some new experiences for fairly new hunters. I mean, Gavin's shot, you know, he shot a few bucks now, but he's still 17 years old. So, and Brandy decided this year she wanted to give it a try, and she was actually able to connect on one. So that's just outstanding. I'm very happy with this season. And I just can't wait until next year. So with that said, I guess we'll wrap this video up. Really appreciate your support. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.